For this assignment, you should have two documents in front of you. You should have this article, Yes or No Arguments, Are Smartphones Making Us Stupid? And you should have the graphic organizer to take your notes. The directions, you're going to listen to the article as I read it and as you follow along, and follow the directions to fill in this organizer. You're going to be gathering information in each of these three sections, background, yes, and no, to write a short essay on the topic. You will be graded on your completion of this worksheet. Okay, let's begin. Go back to the article and turn to the next page. Remember, at any time you can pause this video. I'll begin. Are smartphones making us stupid? 64% of Americans own smartphones, according to a recent survey. Among young people, the number is even higher, 85%. We carry them everywhere and use them for everything, from getting directions to watching videos. But some believe that constant connectivity and easy access to dizzying amounts of information is not without drawbacks. Two technology experts face off on the effect these ubiquitous devices are having on our brains. Now, in this section, I want you to write down one piece of information about smartphones. You're going to write that in the background section of the graphic organizer. So one piece of information from this section about smartphones. You may pause until you're ready to move on. Once you've written down one piece of information about smartphones in this section, you're going to move on to the yes side. This side of the argument argues that smartphones do make us stupid. I'm going to read two paragraphs on this subject, and you're going to write down quotes that support this side of the subject. Make sure you use quotation marks and write down line numbers. Okay, let's go back to the article and the next page, which looks like this. Yes, the idea that smartphones are making us stupider might at first sound a little absurd. After all, that iPhone or Samsung Galaxy in your pocket is actually an incredibly sophisticated networked computer and camera with the power to immediately connect with anyone around the world. You could write a novel, edit a movie, or solve a complex math problem on this magical device. But, of course, you aren't writing novels, editing movies, or solving complex math problems with your smartphone. Instead, you're using your incredibly sophisticated pocket computer to tweet the details of what you just ate, check updates on Facebook, and post your disappearing Snapchat photos from last night's school dance. Then there's all those WhatsApp instant messages you so need to send each hour to your girlfriend or boyfriend, and all those selfies, a collective 93 million a day in 2014, that you post daily on Instagram. Okay, find one quote from this section that supports the idea that smartphones are making us stupid, and put it here. Pause the video. When you finish, we're going to write down one more quote for this side of the argument from the next page. So go back to your article, move to the next page, which looks like this, and follow along. So rather than transforming us into Albert Einstein, Steven Spielberg, or Toni Morrison, our smartphones are actually making us more wrapped up in ourselves. In the end, all we are left with is more and more intimacy with our own lives and less knowledge of the wider world around us. And that, I'm afraid, is why smartphones are making us stupid. You see, technology doesn't exist in a vacuum, independently of the world. Technology is only as good as how we use it. Smartphones could, of course, make us smarter if we use them smartly. But most of us don't, because we are locked in the trivia of our own lives. Our culture lends itself to instant gratification, the trivialization of serious subjects, and, above all, what psychologists call narcissism, unhealthily excessive interest in oneself. Smartphones are both a cause and a consequence of our selfie-obsessed culture. Unfortunately, they are indeed making us dumber and dumber. Now find one quote from this section to include for the yes side of the argument, that smartphones are making us stupider, and make sure you include line numbers. Pause the video until you're ready to move on. When you're finished with your evidence for this side, go back up to the background section and turn to the next page. These are just some statistics about smartphones. You can quote one of these and put it in your background section for your introduction. 1.9 billion, that's estimated number of smartphone users worldwide, almost double the number in 2012. 46%, the percentage of American smartphone users who say they can't live without their phones. 93%, the percentage of young smartphone users in the US who use their phones to prevent boredom. So you can take one of those quotes and put it in your background section. Pause until you're finished. When you're ready to move on, we'll now take down two quotes for this side of the argument, that smartphones do not make you more stupid. We're going to find that on the next page. So follow along. You should be on this page where it says no. 25 years ago, before the internet was known to everyone, if someone had advertised a universal answers machine that fits in your pocket, it would have been hailed as a miracle. If that machine also let you discover music, navigate any city or town, keep up with the news, read books, and become a virtual reality headset, check out Google Cardboard, it would have been called a pocket university that's ushering in a new age of intelligence. Now, of course, we take all that and more for granted. But we shouldn't. The fact that we can ask a question and get an answer wherever we are means that our discussions can get past disputes over facts so that we can talk about the real issues, what we make of the facts. Because these devices are always with us, we can keep up with the real-time events. We can follow news as it unfolds. It also means that if we want to explore an idea, we can always find the right pages or podcasts. Okay, pause there and write down one quote from these paragraphs under your no section. Be sure to use quotation marks and line numbers. Pause the video until you're ready to move on. Okay, finally, we will write down one more quotation from the article to finish up. It's going to be on this no side. So go to the last page of the article and follow along. This is convenient if we're looking for a restaurant or an ATM, but it also means our phones can point us to places to explore we otherwise would have missed, such as a little-known nearby museum or historical site. Want to bring 20 books with you on a trip? Go ahead. They won't add an ounce to your bags or your phone. Even if you're not sure you're going to like a book, you might as well bring it along and give it a try. Being able to browse easily gives us more opportunities to become smarter. And while many of us use our phones primarily to keep in touch with our friends, even that can nourish our brains. Social networking is often how people share the links and ideas that matter to them. When we read the articles and watch the videos our friends post, we learn more about the world. More access to our information, ideas, and discussions sounds like an opportunity for smartness, but only if we choose to take it. Okay, now take one more quote from this section and put it in your no column. When you're finished, you may turn it into Miss Lepishka or myself.